What's going on, everybody? Already know who it is. It's the young boy T Means, most wildest motherfucker you know out here, you feel me? If you ain't tuned into the Gamble Experiment, nigga, yeah, slap your damn self, boy. What the hell wrong with you? Tap the fuck in, man. Don't miss out.
What's up with y'all? You have now tuned in to the Gamble Experiment podcast. This will be the first official season, hopefully of many to come. Make sure you like, subscribe, tune in, and please feel free to share always. This is going to be a podcast based on my life experiences, my advice on down times, hard times, and everything in between. God bless. Let's just say this is the first official episode, first official season, and we got some shit to talk about, guys. For everyone out there, like I say this all the time, that continually asks, when am I going to do more shit? When am I going to say stuff? I'm going to get into it in a little bit, but there's a reason why it's going to start now. Yeah, man, so just a little recap for y'all. In the past year, let's just say, I don't know, the past calendar year, we were 2022. It's been a rough one, man. I've had COVID twice. For all you guys that know, the little snippets that I put out before, I had COVID. COVID fucked me up. It sent me back a while. Had a lot of great things happen since then. A lot of good blessings, a lot of good things. Got a new job. I work at Costco now in Santa Cruz, and shout out my boys from the Night Mooch crew, Mario, Will. Can't forget about my vieja Abel. I enjoy that job. First time I've had a job that I don't complain about the commute. For those of you that don't know, I'm in Hollister right now. I moved into my boy's house. Had to leave Aptos. Was there for almost 8 years. My son grew up in that house. Took some of his first steps, his first shits. He grew up in that home, so definitely going to miss it, but it's a new chapter. It's a new chapter that, me and Sam begun, however you want to word that. But, yeah, I very much enjoy Hollister. The traffic sucks, but it doesn't bother me. 45 minutes there and after work, I don't hit no traffic. The only thing that sucks, really, is the hours, working 2:30 to 11 and then 1 to 9:30 on the weekends. And I'm usually at the bar, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Wednesday and Thursday too, but we'll get into that. Been there since last August, I want to say, October, August. I forgot what month it was, but I'm coming up on a year at Costco, and I enjoy it. I enjoy all my coworkers. I think it's the first job I'm able to kind of be myself, and there haven't been any major repercussions yet. I had a little incident that we'll talk about at the holiday party, but nothing too crazy. Me and him actually became, really good friends after that. So, yeah, man, we'll get right into it. I've been a bouncer, I want to say 6 years. Might be longer. I started off at Motive, which is a bar downtown Santa Cruz. It's like a little club wannabe. A lot of fucking younger dickheads, a lot of egos, a lot of fucking, drunk 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, and a lot of older creeps too. I got stories for days on that, but I'll take you back a little bit. I remember day one, I meet, which I found out later, he was a fucking UFC fighter, Pete. I think it's Pete Williams, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen his highlight clip dozens of times, just never knew it was him. And it's a highlight clip, if you guys want to check it out on YouTube, of him kicking some fool in the face named Mark Coleman, who's a UFC Hall of Famer. He kicks him in the face and knocks him out. I've seen that clip hundreds of times. It ends up being him. So he ends up being the guy that kind of trains me. First night, it's kind of a slower night. He's just showing me the ropes. Day two, I meet this grumpy, old, very intimidating, very loud man named Gustavo. Come to find out, he is, don't butcher me if I kill this, he's a 5th degree or a 6th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. And talking about just the utmost intimidator, just loud, brash, speaks his mind, cusses, doesn't give a fuck, right? And ended up working with him that night, and he's being nice, he's being calm with me. He's trying to get me to be assertive, to hit people up, to not be so scared and intimidated. And he introduces me to this guy that he trains with, and his name's Paulie, or as Gustavo calls him, Paul, the motherfucker, right? So I end up meeting Paulie. I end up working the back door with him at Motive for about a week. And, yeah, man, I fell in love with being a bouncer right away. I definitely felt like I was the least most intimidating guy at Motive, which spoke volumes because I think everyone can agree on this. At the Red Room, there's guests that know not to fuck with me. They know I'm the one that initiates stuff if you disrespect any of my guys. Whatever the fuck. Let's get through the Motive story. So I ended up being there for about, I want to say, a year or two maybe, and then I was there off and on. So I remember I got hired at Red Room when I was still working at Motive. A good buddy of mine, Joe, was working there, and Freddie, of course, you guys, if you know me, you know who fucking Freddie is. It's my boy, my brother, and they ended up hiring me on the spot one night. So I kind of got my roots in there, but I was still at Motive. I was only working at the Red maybe twice a month. And fast forward, the pandemic, pops off, and everyone's out of work. They shut down everything. I wasn't working anything else at the time. I was kind of doing some landscaping stuff, not really. I was just doing whatever I could to make ends meet as far as money, and it was rough, man. It was rough for everybody. As I would figure, we didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. We didn't know how crazy this thing was going to get. We didn't know what rumors were true, if it was airborne. I'm not going to get into all that because I heard you get canceled if you fucking talk about that, or your videos get removed. So I'm not going to talk about the pandemic. But yeah, I ended up getting my roots deep into Red. I was there pretty. Chief, what are you doing? Chief, hey, drop that. Sorry, it's my dog. And yeah, man. So whatever. I'm kind of getting off track. I'm getting distracted here, but Joe ends up taking over security at the Red Room. He's doing it for a couple months. He's got a brutal day job. He wakes up fucking, I think, like 3-4 in the morning. So it didn't really make sense for him to keep running security at the Red. So it was kind of rough. Me and him got into a little altercation. I think it was just more frustration because I was trying to go back to Motive, if I'm being honest, and I probably never said this out loud. I wanted to go back, and I ended up bringing on, as soon as the pandemic started to die down a little bit and we started to reopen, the first 2 people that I called was Gustavo and Paulie. I just felt I owed them that. I needed to get them over. I know they're solid guys. We were kind of struggling with finding solid people at the Red Room at the time. Just, real dickheads, hiring fucking dumbass people that just want to drink and fuck girls, not really do a job, which, whatever, it's bar territory. People do what they want there. They act like, whatever. I'm not even going to get into all that, but I ended up calling Gus, Paulie. Fast forward, I ended up taking over security role. So I remember talking to Terry and telling him what I required. I just said, I want to be able to pick my own team, pick my own guys, and I want to call the shots. This is the rules that I want. He said, fuck it, no problem. As long as they're doing their job, blah, blah, blah. And I think probably like a month before I fully took over, I got COVID. And this was the first time it was bad. I was in the hospital for 9 days. I put a clip up about it, Dominican, how they treated me, this and that. And that's probably the weakest and my lowest point that I've ever felt, as far as physically, mentally, just what I went through recovery-wise, having to be on oxygen tanks, having to
learn how to like move around again, man, just without being winded, just being afraid if I moved too much that I was going to pass out by myself. You know, Sam was going to work, so I was by myself all day. I was just scared. I had to go through all that, build myself back up, and then, fucking, I go back to the red. I'm still getting my fucking, like, my legs back from me, bro. Like, I'm still trying to work out, trying to do all this. I didn't touch a weight or run on a treadmill for a good 7 months just because I didn't feel right. So fast forward, Costco calls me, right? And I'm fucking shit. When they called me at the time, I'm 365 pounds. Probably closer to 370. I'm not gonna lie. And when they called me, I remember just looking at Sam like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if physically I can do this job, because I remember the first time that I worked at Costco over the hill, I was in way better shape back then. And I was starting to have like my stomach issues when I found out I had stomach ulcers and I was like puking all the time. It became like a hindrance. Like I couldn't do it. I was fucking freaking out. I was like, this is a physically demanding job. Like what the fuck? So I remember just being super, super down and knowing that our time at the Aptos house was running up. So it was like I needed to find something more consistent because the bar was closing and opening all the time. I wasn't making enough money there. It's not a career job by any means. So I remember one of the very few times like I got on my knees and prayed, and I just said, I just want a second chance to find a job that I can succeed at and that I'm appreciated at. And not even 2 days later, fucking shout out Phil from Costco. Phil calls me and he goes, hey, got your application. We have a job opening in the meat department. And if any of you guys know me, you guys know how I am about blood and raw meat and shit like that. I can't fucking do it. I'm a total puss bag. So I hang up the phone. I call Sam. I'm like, fuck, like the worst possible department that I don't want, like pissed off, right? So then I think Salinas or Gilroy called me and they were like, hey, we have a job opening. They didn't tell me what department, and I asked, and they said, oh, well, we'll kind of figure that out. So I'm like, fuck, dude, like I'm going to end up fucking driving all the way to Salinas. Like I drove over the hill when I worked at the Costco in San Jose. I would get up at 4 a.m. and I had to be there at 5 to work the line, right? And so I'm like, fuck, commuting, like whatever, like let's just do it. Phil calls me back literally an hour after Salinas calls me. And he goes, hey, called you the other day. I don't have a part for you, a position for you anymore in the deli department, but I do have one on the front end. What do you think about that? And I fucking went up and down. I was stoked, dude. I jumped up and down. I'm like, fuck yeah, like I don't have to fucking worry about, blood or anything like that, or waking up hella early. I'm just like overjoyed. So I'm like, it's in Santa Cruz. I'm in Aptos at the time. This is before me and Sam knew that we had to move out. We had to get out of there sooner than later. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's right down the street. Like I can still whoop whoop Abraham, blah, blah, blah. So then I go in for my interview, and I hope they're okay with me saying their names, but Phil and Bianca give me my first interview. And the first interview went really well. They're asking me questions. I'm correlating all my experiences to the bar, and then Phil just drops a bomb and says, we don't work around other jobs, though. And I'm like, well, fuck. All right. So then I go in the break room waiting for the second interview, and they go, Billy's going to interview you. And I'm like, what are the choices? What's the irony that it's this Billy? Like the Billy we all know. If you work downtown at the bars, you know who Billy is. I'm like, what's the irony? Sure enough, he comes around the corner, cornrows, nice shoes and all, and I start cracking up. I'm like, no fucking way. What's up, my dude? Because we had talked about Costco, probably like 4 months before that, and he's all, let me know like when you want to apply. Like I'll get you an interview. I'll get you in, blah, blah, blah. Never told him or anything, right? Never hit him up. Just applied, got the interview, right? And he sees me and he goes, oh, shit, man. He goes, I can't interview you because I know you. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, I understand. He goes, Tim's going to interview you. So he walks me in the office. He's like, hey, Tim, like, I know him. I can't interview him, whatever, right? Bro, for 45 minutes, all me and Tim talked about was tattoos, bar experiences, and life. Didn't ask me hardly any questions about the work, right? Just heard about the bar. Okay, oh shit, oh you do that, woo, woo. Talking about this, talking about that, right? And mind you, at the time, I'm wearing a fucking 5XL t-shirt. I'm fat as fuck. And then he goes, so you're going to be okay? Like, and props to him because I give him respect. Right? You're going to be okay, like, pushing carts? Like, it gets hot out there, you know? You got some comfortable shoes? And I'm like, look, sir. I go, I just want an opportunity to get in the door and do this. He goes, okay. He goes, what's your goal? Say 3-4 years from now. I go, my goal is to have your job. And he goes, oh, shit. Okay. He goes, I like that. So then he walks me out of the office to go find Jeremy, who's the GM at the time. And can't find him. He's like, oh, you know, I don't want to take up more of your time, but, like, I really want you to meet him. And I'm like, yeah, I'll meet him. Go back in the office. Hey, Jeremy, just hired him. This is a new guy, Aaron. I'm really excited about it. He's like, oh, do you know him? He's like, no, I don't know him. He's all, but, you know, kind of nods his head at Jeremy. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Shake his hand. He's like, what do you want from Costco? Like, what are you looking to gain out of it? I was like, I just want a career. I want something that's stable and, you know, be able to provide for my son. And he goes, oh, you have a son? How old's your kid? Starts talking about that. Jeremy's kind of weird, whatever. Fast forward a week later, Brian, who's in, you know, morning merch now, he did the orientation. And I'm looking at all these people in my orientation, and they're all young as shit. Shout out my boy Adam. Adam's in there too. He ended up falling asleep in the fucking orientation. But I'm looking at all these, and I start getting discouraged right away. And I'm like, fuck, man. So then, shout out Billy on this. Billy did hook me up because he asked me what days I worked at the bar. And from when I started, he consistently gave me Thursdays and Fridays off, which I was forever grateful for. And right off the bat, you're working 40 hours. I'm getting kind of burnt out because I don't have a day off. Excuse me, sorry. Anyways, that's Costco. I love that job. I end up meeting all these people. I struggled, my boy. My first fucking month, I struggled. I was sweating like a motherfucker. I hadn't moved that much in probably like a year. I'm walking, my feet hurt because I don't have steel toe boots. I'm walking on concrete. I'm fat as fuck. I remember one day I was super pissed because I would wear these same like 2 shirts. They were the only ones that fit me and I felt comfortable in. And Sam, probably like a year before that, had bought me all these clothes, like all these nice dress shirts, like baby blue shirts, stuff like that, that did not fit me. They wouldn't button up. The polos wouldn't fit. All that. They just didn't fit, right? So I remember being like hella sad because she spent like a couple $100 on these fucking nice ass clothes. And I was like, fuck, they don't fit me. I was like, and I kind of got mad. I was like, just take them back. She's like, no, like just keep them. You never know. You'll fit into them. And I'm like, whatever. Fast forward, I'm like 2 months into the job now. I'm like 2 months into Costco, right? And I had no clean clothes. I pride myself on always having clean clothes. Always, never doubling back. Like, I don't care. Miss Laundry Day, whatever. Like, I'll call in sick. I do not want to wear dirty clothes. I'm already a big dude. I don't want to wear dirty clothes. So I'm like scrambling to find clothes. I remember I put my clothes in the washer the night before, but I didn't put them in the dryer. So I'm pissed. I'm like, I know how Costco is about their fucking 90-day rule. I don't want to fucking be late. I'm like tripping. I'm pissed. I'm fucking like, whatever. I go to the certain section in the spare room we had, Abraham's room, and there's just all these clothes stamped on me, and I pop on one of the shirts, and it fit. It, like, fit good. And I was, like, tripping. I was like, what the fuck? Is there something? I'm like, am I overthinking it? I'm, like, looking in the mirror. You know, I'm like, what the fuck? It fits. I'm like, what the fuck? So I remember I show up to work that day in one of these, like, baby blue polos, and people are like, oh, shit, that color looks good on you. And I'm, like, tripping. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I knew how that shirt fit a couple months before. Like, I didn't want to look like one of those fat dudes that was wearing a fucking tight-ass shirt, right? And I get home that night, and I'm like, hey, Sam, do you remember this shirt? And she's like, oh, shit, it fits you. She's like, I told you were losing weight, da-da-da-da. And, like, bro, I step on the scale, and I remember I told you I was 368, 370, right? Bro, I was like 342, and I didn't notice. I was like, what the fuck? And some of you guys will still say, like, oh, that's a big number. That is a big number. I've always, you know, been on the heavier side, but that's still a really big number. But, like, losing that much weight in a couple of months, just moving and drinking hella water, it got me so fired up just to fucking keep working out, keep doing what I'm doing. I won't tell y'all the weight I'm at right now because I still have a whole like little rollout for it, but I was super fucking stoked. Like losing that much weight in that much time and then not noticing it. And I was still eating like shit. I was eating fucking chicken bakes and fucking pizzas for fucking lunch every day. You know what I mean? Now I bring my own shit. Like I bring, chicken, rice, and broccoli. So it's like I cleaned everything up. But yeah, that's been my experience at Costco. I just appreciate the honest work, the grunt work, putting in the hours, walking around, stacking shit, stocking stuff at night, and then now I get to drive like the hoopties and forklifts. So it's made me super appreciative, not only for the people that are there, like shout out the people that are like, the people that I can like genuinely fuck with, like like Mario, obviously Abel, like there's front end people that I love talking to, Dylan, Micah, like Maddie, shout out Maddie, like just people that I could genuinely like talk to. Megan's a big one, I will say that. Like I hope you guys are okay with me just name dropping that. I won't say anything else, but people that I genuinely like fuck with that are cool, that I can go have an honest conversation with them and they'll give me, good feedback. Like not just feedback that I want to hear. They'll tell me the truth. This is what you should do, or this is where you're fucking up at, or, whatever the fuck, I can take criticism from people that I respect. So, let's just get into it, man. Let's talk about my, bouncing career, my security career for a couple of minutes. I just want to start off by saying that I am super, super appreciative for Terry. And for those of you guys that don't know Terry is the owner of the Red Room. The sweetest, kindest, owner I have ever worked for. Granted, comparing him to Mike Pitt is like night and day because Mike Pitt's a piece of shit. Mike Pitt was the owner of Motive. Terry cares about people. Terry invests in people because he understands that if you have the right team and you have the right people, your business will be successful. And there have been a couple times where I've tried to quit that job sooner than later, and I feel like I owe it to him. I owe it to my guys, first of all. And when I say my guys, I'm not trying to be condescending because those are my people. I feel like I owed it to Terry for how he's taken care of me. He's given me, in the 2 years I've worked for him, almost 3, I think I should say, just about, probably 2. He's given me over a $12 raise. I've had numbers in my head that I thought I deserved, and he's gone above that. He's always trusted my judgment. When I tell him I'm firm on something, as far as a rule or a guess, he's all ears. He listens. If there's something that he feels strongly about, I do it, because at the end of the day, if he's not happy, then like why are we all here? We're all here to make memories together, to protect a business, and to make sure his business runs afloat, because he's taking care of us. Every single person. I will speak for everyone that works there. He is taking care of us, Now, with all that being said, I have finally come to the point where at 30 years old, I feel like it's time to turn a new page, turn a new chapter. Start something fresh. Start building new habits, new memories. Stop missing out on time. I am, and I've always maintained this, I am a father before I am anything. I'm a father before I'm a friend, before I'm a boyfriend, before I get the chance to be a husband, all that, right? Being at this job, has helped me make a lot of connections. A lot. I have friendships for life I'm going to take out of this job. I'm going to go down the list, and I'm going to try not to forget any of you guys. And if I do, I'm sorry. But obviously the top ones I hold near and dear to my heart is Paulie and Gustavo. 2 guys that helped me at a time in my life where I was overweight, drinking way too much, eating like shit, not respecting myself. They took me in and showed me not only how to be a better person, but how to deal with people, how to react when I should react, how to not react, how to respect boundaries, and when it was okay to turn up. Taught me all that. Taught me how to be a better. I believe to this day I am a more patient man, a more patient father, and a more patient friend, a more understanding friend than I ever would have been had I not met those two individuals. I love you both. I appreciate you both. And I'm going to miss working with them the most. Those two guys. And the next guy that I hold up there too, and I don't think he gets enough credit, is Mr. Joe. Mr. Joseph. Oh, bro, you brought me into this Red Room family. I would have never met Freddie. I would have never been this close to Terry, this close to, even shout out Gallon. I would have never been able to bring my team over there. Matt, Edgar, fucking Mousy, Thor, Moki, fucking Danny motherfucking Compton. Everybody, bro. Travis, shout out Travis. Just everybody, Nathan, fucking all these people, Ray, Savannah, all these people that I enjoy working with. I would have never had all these opportunities, all these fun times, bro. Me and you just getting drunk at the Red, having some whiskey after work, chilling, bro. Those nights of just getting fucking annihilated together, the work meetings, the fucking everything, man. I have a lifetime full of memories because of you, my dude. And I don't think you get enough credit for what you did at that place. I never understood the mental abuse you had to go through just being in the position you were in, bro, and still holding it all together, my dude. So from that standpoint, I appreciate and I respect everything you did for me. Everything. That gets overlooked, I wouldn't have this, like I said, these lifetime full of memories. Freddie, oh my God, Mr. Freddie. There's never a time at that bar where I did not feel safe when you were there. And that's one thing for a man to say that. I felt safe, 100%. Never had to look over my shoulder. If somebody was getting disrespectful with me, I took that from you, by the way. And I don't give you credit where credit's due. I took that from you. Whenever anyone disrespected me or said something, you were the first dude to get in their face and say shit. And I'm the same way with all my security guards. If anyone disrespects Polly, Gus, Edgar, I am the first motherfucker to get in their face and correct it. And I took that from you. I learned that from you. But the bar hasn't been the same since you left. We're still obviously going to keep in touch because you're stuck with my ass. So, it's a lot of things too. People don't understand. You're a family man. You're a father. People don't understand the time you miss out. The things you miss out on being a bartender, a bouncer, a GM, like having a night job like that. And I think I finally realized that money's money. Money's going to come and go. Money opportunities will always be there as long as you're able and willing. You don't get back time. You don't get back time. Time is the one thing you don't get back. You can't buy it back. You can't earn it back. You can't ask for it back. And I've missed out on enough time with my son, away from my family, being tired the next day. I don't really drink the way I used to anymore. I'm cutting way the fuck back on that. I think I've had maybe 2 nights in the last 2 months where I've really cut loose and I instantly regret it the next day. But yeah, man, I think it's time to change that chapter. I think I owed it to all my guys, man. Everybody that I've ever hired, anybody that I've ever worked with there, I felt like I owed it to them. I owed it to stick around a little bit longer. Mr. Thor, let's talk about Mr. Thornton real quick. When I first met Thor, I was coming back from COVID, and Thor and Moki and this guy Michael had been hired. I didn't hire them. Didn't know what was going on. I remember I came back. I was probably 2 days removed from the hospital. Came back because I wanted to check on my guys. And just day one, I knew Moki was solid. Moki fucking sat some dude down that was being disrespectful. Like just a stocky little tank dude. Now, Mr. Thornton, I think I've told him this before too. I had no idea how Thor was going to work out. I had no idea. He was quiet. He listened to direction very, very well. He still does. And he just, I don't know. I didn't know about him. I didn't know what was going to go on. But I won't get into too much detail. But his growth, as far as from where he started to where he is now, is like one of the most things I've enjoyed watching the most. I'm not saying this condescendingly to say that I'm very, very proud of him, because I am very proud of him. He's come a long way. He's assumed a leadership role. He does a phenomenal job despite what other fucking idiots say that used to work there. He does a phenomenal job. And I'm not going to get into all the drama right now, because trust me, I will. There's some people that I'm gonna call out once the shit's out. But phenomenal job. I hope he sticks around when I leave. I hope he takes my job. I hope he runs security, because I think he's capable and I think he's able. I don't know if he's willing. One of the few things that I've enjoyed the most, Brian, I can't believe I forgot about you. Brian as well. Brian. 1,000 times over, Brian. I'll get back to you, but I appreciate you too, brother. 1,000 times over, Brian. But anytime I've been through some hardships in the last couple of weeks, I've been frustrated. It's the best feeling in the world to know that the people you work with appreciate you. The texts that I've gotten from people like Brian, people like Thor, the times Thor's gone to bat for me in the last couple of weeks is the best. It's the best feeling ever. It makes everything validated that you've done. It validates everything that you've done in the last like couple of months. Makes you know you're doing a good job, because I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I go in there sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I'm emotional, sometimes I'm ready to work, sometimes I don't want to fucking be anywhere near that place. And nothing against the business per se, but it's just the job in general, the mental toll it does on your fucking mental, bro. Just fucking on your everyday life. It's just draining, dealing with the same fucking dumb people that don't know how to handle their fucking alcohol. All these little dick fucking pussy ass little boys that don't know how to fucking fight but try to fight you, and it's easy for me to be a target, 100%. I mean, I'm a bigger dude, so it's always, the disrespect, the comments, oh, you fat fuck, this fat. And if this was me probably 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be getting in a lot more fist fights. But like I said, you learn. Paulie and Gus taught me that. I learned how to react, when to do it, when not to do it. But I'm kind of getting off topic now. But I want to bring this back full circle and just say to everybody that I've ever worked with, anybody that's ever been employed at the Red Room, Gus, Paulie, Edgar, Savannah, Thor, Mousy, Ray, Matt, Nathan, Travis, even Kieran, Duty, Joe, Freddie, Gallon, everybody that's made that place. Eric, oh my God, Eric, my boy Eric, I love you, brother. Eric just being my fucking therapist throughout all this bullshit, being a friend that I always needed, I thank Terry from the bottom of my heart. I thank every single one of you. Miss Thea, Emma, Kenzie, all you guys. You guys made that place. Isaac, Mr. Isaac. Let me give you your flowers real quick, sir. Isaac, I would not have stuck around as long as I did or even taken any security jobs if it wasn't for you, sir. You hired me at Motive, and I'm forever grateful for that. Forever grateful for that. I love you, dog. You and Kat, love you guys. I'm going to see you guys around, obviously, but everybody that I ever worked with in this bar industry, I made friendships for life. I made connections. I met some of the most interesting people, some of the most not interesting people, some of the most annoying fucking people, friendships, You know, everybody that's ever come up to me and offered to buy me a shot, anybody that's ever asked me how I'm doing, anyone that's ever had a good life story to tell or shared a break in the front of the red room, whatever the fuck, drunken memories, all that. I appreciate every single one of you. I love all of you. My phone is always on for you guys, all my current guys, Brian, every single one of you, Thor, Danny Compton, who has a fight tonight. Shout out Danny. Just every single one of you guys. I appreciate you guys. I got to get you guys on here too. We got to get you guys on the podcast, bro. We got to get you guys going. I know we all got stories to tell. I got hella stories to tell. This is just a little small introduction back to what I want to accomplish in the long run. But yeah, man, I appreciate every single one of you. Life isn't always great, but it'll get better. For anyone going through any type of depression or anything like that, just know tomorrow is always a new day. It starts with self-love, doing something that you love and enjoy. Find out what makes you happy. Life's too short. If you're in a bad situation, a bad job, there's always room to fix. There's always room for self-growth. Don't ever doubt yourself, because we all fall down. We all go through stuff. You have to fall down and learn, to learn how to get better, get back up. You got to go through the hard bumps and licks and bruises of life. That's part of growth. If we all didn't experience any type of pain, we wouldn't know how to cope with it. We wouldn't know how to deal with it. So it all comes full circle. Trust me. Someone that's been through enough shit, enough stuff, enough downs to appreciate the ups. Yeah, man. I love you guys. I appreciate everyone taking the time to listen to this. If you guys ever need anything, reach out. Your boy likes to talk. I would love to have an honest conversation with somebody. Get you guys on here. I have a whole bunch of friends and people that they got some interesting stories, man. But yeah, we'll just call this episode 1 of the official season. And God bless every single one of you.